G'day guys, Solid here and welcome back to another episode of Adventure News where we talk the latest, the greatest and sometimes the saddest adventure and dual sport stories. And it's with a heavy heart that I announced that the WR250R looks like it's going to be discontinued, the final model year being 2020. So as if this dumpster fire of a year couldn't get any worse, it just put the cherry on our crap sandwich. So let's get into it. Followers of mine who've been with me for many years will know that I reported on this in 2017 when it looked like the WR250R could get the axe, but it turned out to just be the Japanese market. And I jumped the gun a bit there, but so did the rest of the world. So we're all guilty of that as we didn't really read the fine print. This time I've waited a little while to see what's come out and tried to triangulate the news, but this time it looks like it's for real. It's getting discontinued with the final model year being 2020. So let's get into exactly what the evidence is to suggest that this is happening. So unfortunately, it looks like it's very real this time. The big website Ride Apart has reported on this, officially announcing multiple models of the Yamaha getting discontinued, of one being the WR250R. We also have an internal memo from Yamaha USA stating that the WR250R is being discontinued, as well as an Instagram post from Yamaha USA as well stating the same. So very sad news, and it looks like with those three separate pieces of information, it's fairly easy to triangulate that at least in the US that the WR250R is being discontinued. I also have heard some whispers that Australia will be in the same boat and that we won't get a 2021 model either, which leads me to believe that I think that this will be a global thing, that the WR250R will be discontinued in all countries, which is very sad news. And even if it isn't, the fact that we miss out on it and the US miss out on it is a major blow to the dual sport community. So very sad news, but I do think it's very real this time. We've got three separate pieces of information to go on here. So I think that's fairly solid evidence that the WR250R has been killed off by the Euro 5 emission standards. So let's move into the speculation where it might give us some hope in this sad news. So I know a few of you don't like the speculation, so if you don't, you can kindly sod off. The rest of us will discuss unicorns and the possible scenarios that might lead us into a future where Yamaha could release something else to replace the 250R. So let's get into the obvious. I think Yamaha have three clear options here. One is they just discontinue the WR, they fail to fill in the hole, and we all cry ourselves to sleep wondering what to do with the rest of our lives. The second option is the best option in my opinion, and that's doing what Honda and every manufacturer have done to get past the Euro 5 emission standards, and that's increase the capacity of the engine to offset the power loss to pass the emission standards. So I would love to see a WR350. Probably won't see that. It probably will be something like a 290 or a 300, similar to what Honda have just done with their 300L. So I would love to see that, and I'd love to know your thoughts on a WR350R. Think of it a little bit lighter with some LED lights, a little bit of a modern touch, maybe upgrade the dash, fix the valving for the rebound in the rear shock, and she would be sweet in my opinion. But I'd take a 290 or a 300 as well, as the only thing I think the WR really needed was a bit more torque. The rest you can fix by yourself. So that's what I'd love to see. Of course, the third option is that they just refresh the 250. I don't think this would be a great option in my eyes, although I'd take it nonetheless, as I would rather see something exist rather than nothing. They could do a twin spark to try and increase the efficiency, or some kind of other mechanical or electronic wizardry to get past emission standards. But I think it would be very hard to try and offset the power loss to get past that emission standard hurdle. So I'd prefer to see the big bore unicorn rather than just a updated 250 from Yamaha, but who knows what's going to happen. There's absolutely no rumors or evidence to base this on, so this is purely coming from the speculation of my dreamy unicorn mine, so take that with a grain of salt. I'd love to know what you guys think. What would you like to see replace the WR250R? I hate even saying those words as it's so sad to hear it go. As a lot of you know, it's the bike I owned for quite a few years and I absolutely love the thing. It's my favorite dual sport of all the dual sports to date. Who knows what we have in the future, but gun to my head, my favorite bike of all time so far is the WR250R. So it is very sad to see it go, but I'm very excited to see what could possibly replace it. So until then, I've been Chronicles of Solid. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. Don't forget to stay shiny side up and I'll see you in the next video. Catch you later, guys.